Failures, setbacks, vision, and clarity. That's what I would like to talk about today. Oftentimes, more than at least 3 times, young graduates they message me on LinkedIn. They see my profile and they think that I am some highly successful communications, media, marketing, uh, you know B2B strategy professional. Um, what they don't realize is that I have failed so many times in my life, and where I am now is not a result of consistent successes, it's a result of consistent failures. Uh, and each and every failure has led me to where I am today. Um, most of those messages from those young graduates who are graduating from uh, a decent university to even the best universities in my country, their main question is they can't find a job in the top 5 or top 10% organizations in the country or in the world if they are that ambitious. And they say that they've applied to 200 jobs in the last week, but they haven't received any sort of positive response through which they can apply and then get an interview essentially. So I usually tell them to consider that at the very start of their careers, especially in the first 5 years, if you don't get into a top multinational company or a top tech company, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. You have a lifelong career ahead of you. You need to focus on the skills. So recently, a recent data and I think it was a business analyst graduate from a local university, and he approached me on LinkedIn, and he said that I've applied to data analyst roles in the top 3 companies in the country, and I haven't received any single response. I asked him to share his CV so that I can give him a honest review. His CV was okay. I mean, it's an internship here, an internship over there, some university project that he did on data analysis, but there wasn't any clarity that he is a single track professional, or he is looking to venture out into other fields as well. So I asked him to write a very brief summary of a 3 line summary on his CV, and asked him to basically think about what he wants to do with a bit more focus and a bit more clarity, and to tailor his CV according to each and every job that he applies to. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is that for every young graduate who thinks that there aren't any number of jobs, or there aren't a certain amount of jobs that they would like to be part of or apply to, there are jobs, but now things have changed so much that with the advent of AI, it has become harder for recruiters and companies to understand where the candidate is or what his actual skills are. So it's very important these days to develop your skills in AI, to master AI workflows, to experiment with all the new AI sort of companies that are sprouting up here and there, and to involve yourself in even freelance projects. Build something of your own. Use Claude, use Cursor, use all of these other AI tools at your disposal. You can brainstorm, you can find out what the market needs, and you can create something of your own as well. I think this is the best time in the history of humanity to actually do something incredible, and you can easily do it now than before. Why I'm saying that is because previously we didn't have a tool that would understand what we said and then give us our responses based on what we had responded to them, over the last, 10 conversations that we had. So these large language models, they understand where we are coming from, what our pain points are, they know our skill sets, and they know what we can do based on, what we know, or the knowledge that we have. So this is the best time to build something, and my honest advice to all the young graduates these days is to build something of your own before you start applying to another company. Because see it this way, you graduate and then the next month you end up at a global Fortune 100 company. Great, congratulations. Now you're in the 9 to 5 rat race. You'll stay there for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 7, 8 years, however many years, doesn't matter. But then you will go to some other company. And then you'll go to some other company. In the midst of it, you might be laid off. In the midst of it, you might, change countries. In the midst of it, you might realize that this is not your thing. And then you'll be, you'll pretty much be lost. You won't know what to do with your life. Take that to one side and then think about what you can do while you build something of your own. So right after graduation, if you focus your efforts on building something of your own right there and then, using all of the information that we have right now, all of the AI technology that we have, and if you build something incredible right there and then, you might actually become, the CEO of your own company. You might actually become a person who sells his own company right at the start of your career. This 9 to 5 rat race is something that you should try and avoid now more than ever, because if you see the last, 24 months, you will see that Google, Meta, Amazon, Oracle, and so many other global organizations, they've laid off tens of thousands of their employees. Those are tens of thousands of people who had families of their own, kids to feed, sick parents to, care for, and some of them had moved countries. Some of them were, in the midst of divorces. Everybody has problems. And if any one of those people would have built something of their own and would have kept it on the side and would have kept working on it on the side, they would have something to fall back on.